sorry. Fixing my room. There's no way to have a background on these live things. When it's Zoom, you can have a background. Can you hear me? No one's on. Okay, so I'm not going to wait for anybody. It's going to be posted live. It was like, I'll start off by saying this. I do these lives going into competition, but I started doing lives right after competition because the show that will showcase this particular competition won't show up until next year. I'm still working on 2021 season 2. I'm trying to bang them all out so I can get it all on time, but then I just won't have, and I'll get to a point where I won't have anything to post for a long period of time. So I'm working it out. I'm sorry if you want to know what's happening right now, but that's not really the way reality television works. And I'm not really on a network, but that's what I consider it. So I'll call it this, the title of this live. It was like a silent attack. Okay. I was in competition and I'm sitting in the dark, but everything was going well. Okay. I got there, actually on the way over there, my mom was having an angry moment, and she was not happy with how late we left, although we were gonna get there a day early, so it didn't matter. Didn't understand really why she was so stressed out. She was like really stressed. And I was the one that might go out there without a dress. So I felt like she was stressed for me, right? So you'll hear all of the details of this in the episode that it showcased in, but basically it was like a silent attack. Everything was going well, and it wasn't fog. Like sometimes you get foggy in the brain, you know what the hell is going on. It wasn't. It was totally clear minded. Everything was fine, but it was like weird because it felt like something was wrong, but I didn't know what. And I felt it. Oh, I got like a really good night's sleep. Okay, great night's sleep. Great. Let's go out there and like take this thing. Let's get awarded, you know. And so I did a place. So I competed in 4 different things, and I placed in 3, and then one time I didn't. And the one time I didn't was scary because it was, well, not really, it was the younger group for rhythm, and usually I place in rhythm. Even if it is the younger group, I'll get it like 2nd, 3rd. But they were better than me this time, I don't know. I was feeling well, but as soon as I got on the dance floor, like Dan was having an issue, my instructor, and he didn't like anything I was doing out there. What is your problem? Why are you doing that? I'm doing it just exactly the same as before. That's what I thought. But he felt like it was off. So I started noticing everything I was doing wrong. Anyway, I didn't make that one, but that was the first set we did. And I came out of that round, and he came up to me and had a hissy fit. Apparently, he went really far. But here's what happened. It was like silent for me, okay? I was like in my own head and trying to figure out what the hell is going on with me. Like, I tuned him out because I knew he was going to yell at me. I knew he was going to, whatever he does. And I don't have any of that on tape. My mom was taping it. We weren't allowed to videotape, and I didn't pay the money to videotape, which I usually do, but I didn't. And so we don't have a lot of tape of the actual thing happening. But you see what you see, you know. Whatever we could get is there. And so basically, there was somebody there with me that time. Okay, whatever. That happens sometimes. But he was mad. Like, he has high expectations of the students he takes in the competition. He wants them to win. So he was like pissed. And I was just trying to think to myself. I remember being just very deep within my own mind, going, there's nothing wrong. What's wrong if there's nothing wrong? The hell is wrong? I was trying to feel my body and understand what's going on. That thing. Like, so is he just mad for no reason? Because I was literally thinking, he's like pissed for no reason. I did really well. Then I looked at the videos and they didn't look that bad. Usually he'll look at the videos and he'll be like, yeah, it's not as bad as I thought. Right? And so he didn't look at the videos, I did. So that was my thought. I didn't do as bad as he thought. But he was like really letting me have it. Apparently everybody else heard things that I did not hear. I was tuning him out. I didn't care what he was saying. And the only conclusion I could come to was that I was hungry. I'm hungry, I said. I'm hungry. And I think like, you just need food. And he's like, you didn't eat? You're going to competition? You don't have any food in your stomach? You have to come down here unprepared. And I was like, God damn it. Like, I just, like, give me a banana. I'm fucking hungry. Okay. Oh, excuse my language. But so he goes, yeah. Go up there and eat something, come back like with your mind ready and everything. And I was like, yeah, that's what I just said. I'm gonna go eat something, you know. So whatever. When I came back for the next set or round, everybody was telling me how bad he was yelling at me. Like, he was really, oh my God, when he said this, when he said that, I was like, I don't know, whatever. Like, that's just what he always does. Was it really bad? Because I don't listen to it. When it's really negative, I don't listen to a lot of it. I will hear some things that I think I tune them out until my mind says, oh, this is something you can learn from. Because here's what I think we don't talk about a lot in competition. That's one of the things I do in lives, is give you advice about competition that people don't really talk about, you know. What I think it is that there's a different skill. It's very necessary in competition that you have to have. People don't talk about, so they don't teach it to you, because it's usually something you have to learn, not from the teacher. The teacher does something where you have to have a skill to deal with it, right? So the teacher will be yelling and screaming and saying, but you did, for example, you did the worst. That was the worst dance I've ever seen, the worst way I've ever seen you dance in my life. I've never seen you so terrible. If they say anything, he did say something of that nature, but that's not like his words. Something like that. The worst. And that you've ever done. And so I This is my phone. First of all, I have the most annoying ringtones and text tones to annoy myself. I do that on purpose because I will not hear it if it sounds like everybody else's. But anyway, so the skill is to be able to know what the takeaway is from all the feedback, negative or positive feedback. You have to know what the takeaway is. So younger people just get hurt, they get offended, they cry, and they try to come back stronger, right? What more mature adults will do if they don't be like, oh, I'm not paying for this, I quit. They'll come back if they're really competitive and they really want to continue with this instructor, knowing Dad is the best instructor next to probably Bobby or Wesley in Sacramento. They're really good instructors, but nobody has the titles Dan has in this area. So a titles like it's boxing or whatever, wrestling. That's what I call it. So if you want to stick with this teacher and you're learning a lot, you have to be able to get what you can out of that feedback. So they'll say a lot of really mean things to you if you're not meeting their expectations. And you have to be like, okay, that was the worst I've ever danced, and think to yourself, well, what in practice and training, what is the best I've ever done in their eyes? When was the time that you told me that I was doing really well? First of all, if your teacher doesn't tell you you're doing really well, you don't belong in competition, because you'll have nothing to go off of except what you think you're good at. And your teacher should be able to teach you what the judges are looking for. Dan happens to be friends with Karina Smirnoff and Victor Fung, and so the expectation's really high, and I think he felt like I was embarrassing him. And I go, well, I'm not embarrassing you. There's just somebody that's being better than me at this moment. He didn't say that. If he said that, I didn't hear him. I honestly totally tuned out his words. All I heard was, that was the worst I've ever seen you dance. How, what is going on with you? I heard something like that. And I was like, zoop, figure out what's wrong now, because I only have so much time before my next set. And I have to figure out my own self for myself. Apparently I did really awful. I have to look at the videos, see where I can do better. Work out my body, stretch a little, whatever I have to do, But the other thing that I have to do is opposite the negative, because he wasn't saying anything positive. Everything was like really bad. It was bad. You were bad. It's terrible. What are you doing? But Dan is a man of a lot of words, so he says a lot of things. And when he goes on his rants, negative rants, I don't want to hear all of it. I just tell me the important things. Let me know what the important things are. My brain, I'll tell my brain, just let me know what the important things are, and my ears will open. So when he says the worst, something or other, I'll think to myself, when did he say it was the best? And I'll try to redo it that way. So stuff like that, you have to be skilled. A skilled listener, I think, is what it's called, a skilled listener, and really know what the takeaway is on all the feedback, because you'll get really good feedback, but you'll watch the video and be like, that was awful, and try to really assess what it is they're trying to tell you. because it isn't always honest. It was not the worst I had ever danced in my life. It was not, because I could do worse dancing than that, trust me. But I just, I think what he's trying to say is that if that's the worst you're gonna do today, I want to see what the best is. So he doesn't say those words. I think to myself that that's what he's saying. That's what his words are. So it's different for me because I'm not a really negative person. I don't hang on negative things all the time. I don't dwell in that. I kind of quickly get over it and move on, which is really helpful in competition as well, to be like have fast recovery, not just physically but mentally and emotionally, because a lot of stuff will get you down really quick. So I think the problem was he was saying this is not the we're not out here to show who's got more energy. It's not about putting more energy into it. It's about technique and your footwork and so on and so on. We do it slower. I've seen what he's talking about in some of the other competitions, that they do it a little slower just to make it right, but it just doesn't look good without any fun energy. You have to be enjoyable to watch. You have to think you're putting your all into it, but you also have to have the footwork. And I feel like I told him on the dance floor, I said, can't do this without power. He said, don't put any power into it. And I said, I can't do this without power. I have to hit my marks. I have to like cha-cha-cha, not cha-cha-cha. Do you know what I mean? So I have to like really go out there like, I'm gonna do this thing. That's how I usually do it. But he was like, don't put a lot of energy into it. Just follow me and whatever he said. And I was like, whoa, you said a don't right before I go out on the stage. You said a don't. And the thing was like the thing that I do when I get awards. I didn't know what to do with that. So it was confusing me. Just hell confusing me when I went out there. And so this tactic of his, technique or whatever, did not work with me. And I hope that he learned from it as well, because he got really pissed off and apparently he was really mean. And I knew he was yelling, but I just honestly wanted to know if he ever hears this. I just honestly hate to tell you this, but when you're like that, when people are like that, I don't listen to you anymore. Oh, you're going crazy. You could be saying stuff I don't want to hear. And if that's going to affect this very good relationship that's bringing these good things in my life in a negative way, I'm going to pretend it didn't happen. Or at least I won't hear it, so I won't think that it happened. But people come to me and they tell me, hey, he said this and he said that. And I'm like, please shut up. Don't you understand? No, they don't understand. Most people would just do like this. But what happened is that I went to Vegas and I didn't do a live after Vegas. my last competition was in Vegas, and we had a huge, what they will call a fight. We were fighting, but we were like the whole time. And I don't know where it comes from, but he just gets mad. He's like a little, he has cats. He has like wild cats, like, what do you call those gerbil? Not gerbil. What do you call those things? Those wild cats that are domesticated cats. So he has a couple of those, but they're also service cats. I don't know how that works. They're very known to be big and strong and like whatever. Anyway, he's like that. People get pets that are a lot like them, and he has those. So that is sort of one of his traits. Well, guess what? I only owned cats in my life. Now, they were all domesticated, so I'm a little bit more what's the word I'm looking for? What? Some people have better, but I don't have a smaller vocabulary. I just can't always find the right word to say. Proper, demure, aloof, whatever. I don't scratch and bite a lot. I'm not one of those. But I can. Like, don't underestimate me. I'm not declawed. So anyway, here's the thing, is that there's some sort of understanding in our pairing there that I don't just want to write him off and be like, screw you, can't believe you did that to me, I'm so embarrassed, because I'm not. My mother, I'm going to turn this off. My mother happens to be really mean. There's no other word. She's terribly mean sometimes, and everybody knows that. That's what I've had to deal with my whole entire life. The last time she was nice to me, I think I was like 3 years old. But that was because they just got a divorce and she wanted me on her side. In any case, that was the last time. That's a lie. We get along pretty well because we talk a lot of crap to each other. This creates strong relationships in my reality. I don't know about yours, but in mine. So he may have been offensive, but I just honestly didn't hear it. And I don't care. I am adamant about being trained by the best instructors in town. And he has won top teacher awards on multiple occasions, a world champion, and I can't get any better in person lessons here in Sacramento right now. If I can, I don't know about it. And if I don't know about it, then whatever. So I'm really happy to be a student. And I don't like that people want to judge that. But it's comes with the territory. It's really dark in here. I apologize. So, but anyway, one of the things you got to learn is how to deal with a hard-ass teacher. My teacher may be an ass 95% of the time, but we're having fun more than that. most of that time we were having fun, and that's really what's important to me. And I feel the same way about being out there on the floor. I have to have this argument with him about fun and energy on a competitive dance floor, that you cannot go out there without it. And I think that this makes my argument. But anyway, he apologized. So what happened is the next day we were going into smooth competition, where I have never done smooth in competition before. I've been in a lot of competitions, all been rhythm, American rhythm, not even Latin, American rhythm. And so smooth, I'm not new to, but new to in competition. I was very nervous, but I thought, maybe my dancing skills are the same. Maybe I'll do just as well here as I did in rhythm. You never know, whatever. So I just have less practice in it. And no one wanted to practice with me. So Dan was doing 8-hour days where he was dancing in every single heat with all of his dancers. That's why he's top teacher. And so he was like, I don't want to have to practice extra with you guys. Be ready. And I go down there and I'm like asking my friends who weren't competing, can you please practice with me? And they go, no, we don't want to get in the way of your competition routine. We don't want you to get messed up because we don't know what you do and whatever. So I was rejected a lot. And I'm just like, I just need to go out there and like feel it for a little while. And nobody would do it with me. So I was nervous going out there the first time around. And what happened on the way into the smooth, he apologizes to me for what happened the previous day going into rhythm. And I was like, it's like a day later. It's weird. And I go, because it was yesterday. I was focused on now. And he was saying this to me. We were walking to the line, and I was like confused. Like, first of all, what the hell are you talking about? I was like, what? But I just remember looking at him like, what? I just was okay, whatever. And we were fine. It was fine. I wasn't thinking about it. I think that he thought it had really affected me, but I was still going through that thing where there was something wrong and I didn't know what it was. I didn't know it was wrong because nothing was wrong. Like my body, everything was fine. I was clear. I was good. I could feel everything. And I don't know what was wrong. I just felt something terribly wrong. And so the end of the story is coming soon. But you kind of just really have to listen to your intuition, because sometimes it has nothing to do with anything in the competition at all whatsoever, right? So we go into this competition, you win some, you lose some. I got 4th place, and I got 3rd place. My first time ever in smooth. Going into American rhythm competitions, my first competition in rhythm was a Lindy Hop dance. We didn't have places. It wasn't 1st, 2nd, 3rd. It was best of this, best of that. And I got best staging, which is the whole video. It was a video award, but it wasn't on the particular dance. So I had some practice going into competition for American rhythm before I actually went into a American rhythm competition. It's a weird thing, but I didn't have that for smooth. I've never done this before. And I was really impressed with myself. Dan's probably claimed to be impressed with me, but wasn't, because he just wanted to make up for being such a butthead. I don't know. But I was impressed with myself. Like, wow, I can't even believe it. Like, there was 6 people out there. So 4th place, I beat 2 people, beat 2 couples. That's pretty good. First time around. Well, we go into our scholarship round. And like, I just wasn't getting my footing right, but I was like, I'm going to do this. He had already apologized, whatever. I'm going to do this better than I did in practice. I'm going to try, go out there and do it like the best he's ever seen me do, which is, I have the video of it. And I'm trying to watch this video in my mind as I'm out there and feel my body, what I'm doing wrong, feel my body and where it's at compared to that video. And so I start fixing things as I go along, right? Well, anyway, that is what you have to do. That imagery is what you need. People don't understand why I videotape everything. It's not just for my show, and it's not just to practice, but you have to see your best and see your worst and see the difference. And when you go out into competition, you want to be at your best. So you have to have that image in your brain. I think it's really helpful when you're not really very confident in your improvisation there. And it's all part of the same thing, but it's easier that way for me. It's like reading. It's like being, what's the word? When you can read everything in a book after just seeing it once. What's that called? See what I mean? I forgot. But anyway, that special ability is very helpful in different kinds of art. A lot of things in life, right? It's helpful in everything. But I didn't go to college for other reasons. It's not a memory issue. I think that a lot of schooling, a lot of getting higher education really is just based on how much you can remember. How good your memory is how well your grades are going to be. So having that skill, I would have been great in school. I always was like a B+ A student when I tried hard. But I didn't do well in college for other reasons. I'll talk about that on my personal channel if you care. I'll do that on my personal channel. I went to community college for a short while. Very short. Well, I went back like 3 times for 3 different semesters, and I just never finished. But anyway, I use those skills in my dancing. It's very helpful on the dance floor. Sort of see your page, like in acting. If you could see the page of the script as you're acting, it's helpful. That's something I do so I don't forget. Some people, I've talked to people about that visualization, and they call it cheating. Cheating because you're not fully in the moment. You can't feel the emotion if you're reading the script. And I go, well, it's just there, so you can be like, that word's next, and it puts you in the rhythm of everything that comes after that. But you have to have, like, if you don't have those images, if you don't have those recollections in your brain, you can't see them when you want to. But they claim that we can see you doing that. It's so visible. Improv is not like that. And I just disagree. If you're going to do it really well and remembering your lines is more important than improv. okay? Improv is great, but it's not, when you got a job to do, you got to remember your lines. And so that's a really helpful skill in acting. Well, I just figured out that it's extremely helpful in dancing. It's like, I didn't know why I was taking all these videos, but now I do. And I watch my best performances all the time. And so going out there, well, I just heard that I had done the worst dancing. I wanted to be the best. And I took that channel in my brain, put it on that channel in my brain, and I was like, doing it. So if my best is only third place when I am my first try, then with a little bit more practice and some more technical skill, and just more practice, I think, and just to really feel that positioning of the feet and the body, that I will do better next time. But so those are my two things, the two skills I think that I would advise people to get better at, to feed and try to excel in those areas of competition, because they don't just help you in dance, but in life. And you don't want to get too stuck in the dramas of dance, because that could get you in trouble in your career if you should have one. Oh, people have lost jobs over the craziest things, and then have kept jobs and dealt with the craziest things. It's ridiculous. So you have to just keep watching for some of the better skill sets that I feel you have to develop in competition, and how they will better your life, how, because that's what I talk about here in these lives. This is a 40-minute live, and it's almost done, guys. I'm tired. I was supposed to have a Zumba class tonight, but I couldn't get a hold of the studio owner, so it was canceled. I have Zumba now. I'm going to try for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 8 p.m. at the VIP Ballroom Dance Academy on Marconi. If you have any interest in going to those Zumba classes, please, please text me. You can text me. My number's on the Ba.Bl.com. And I will give you all the information going into that. I have a few friends that were probably there tonight, but nobody texted me. Nobody told me they were going to be there. So I didn't show up. And also, when the owner doesn't tell me that it's available, I don't go. So I apologize that class was canceled tonight. I will definitely be there tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And I will see you later on the Ba.Bl Reel, the Reel of Ballroom Blitz. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.